I'm gonna show you how I would produce a song for K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's do it. So we're gonna be going for like Your Idol takedown vibes, kind of like that darker trap vibe. And I found this vocal sample that I thought sounded like it fit really well. And right off the bat, we had something that Bob Ross would call a happy accident, which is I converted this into a melody. You can do that in Ableton. It just essentially makes it into MIDI notes so that you can put a plugin on that and it'll play along with the original sample. But when I did that, for some reason, it like swapped some of the octaves of the notes. So here's the first layer. It's this patch from Omnisphere. Like it jumped octaves for some reason, but it sounded sick. And then I have 3 other layers doing the exact same line. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it's to layer your stuff. It just makes it sound so much more full and wide. This is kind of like a rave sound that I found. And I'm using something called OTT, which literally stands for over the top. It's just compressing the crap out of it. And then also another key that I'm using on that is something called Glide, which is, I think it's Portamento is the actual name for it, but it'll have the notes kind of like fade into each other. And then a sound that I think is like synonymous with this as well is that like big trombone, like bah, that sound. So I found a sample from Splice, put it into a sampler in Ableton so that I could play it on the keyboard and play the correct notes. So we've got this. And then I got this patch from Omnisphere. It's like an 808, like a boom, big like low end, but it has this like octave thing on it. It's kind of like a little like angel singing with it. And I just have a sub bass following it just to really cover that low end, but I have it kind of falling off, so. Really where a lot of like the sauce and the drive and the movement comes from is in the percussion and drums. So I started with this like really dubstep-y kick. And then really from there, I just added a bunch of little like percussion sounds that I found on Splice that I thought sounded really good. And then I've got 3 snares in here, like a big dubstep snare, like a clack thing, and then like a clap thing. And then I found these 2 other little sounds, but originally they didn't fit the key, but I tweaked them a little bit to fit. That's just what you got to do with these samples that you find in Splice to really make it your own, is just kind of craft it to fit your song. And here's another really good example of that is I found this perk loop that I thought was sick and fit really well. To help kind of fit it and add a little bit more movement and dynamic to it is I added something called Redux, which is like a bit rate thing that can make it sound really like lo-fi and crackly, you know, all the adjectives. And then I added also this like a can of something. And then I found this sample that like kind of sounds like pans. And here's what everything sounds like together.